Despite the well-intended initiatives of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, the mining industry often struggles with consistent and effective implementation. Cultural and systemic barriers, resistance to change, ineffective training, and the lack of robust mechanisms to measure effectiveness is impacting how organizations invest in building positive workplace cultures. With today's global mining industry, much of the problem rests with the extreme lack of standards, consistency, accountability, and continuous improvement strategies. The current approach of the one-time raise awareness workshops cannot sustain the demand of care that is required to reimagine a culture free from fear, bias, racism, discrimination, and inequality. So why are so many diversity, equity, and inclusion programs failing? Join Industry Expert Audrey Hlembizky as she leads an introduction to standardizing diversity, equity, and inclusion workplace practices and behaviors to foster a culture of trust, respect, and belonging. In this webinar, you will discover the importance of why actionable diversity, equity, and inclusion policies over mere mission statements are critical. The importance of standardization for accountability and cultural transformation. Why stalled progress and lack of measuring have organizations fall backwards and contribute to the loss of talent. How lack of knowledge equity and ineffective onboarding processes contribute to program failure. And lastly, why all diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives cannot retain trust within the workforce without standardized, inclusive, and psychologically safe leadership practices and behaviors. For organizations that want to recruit the best talent, you are going to have to meet their values and expectations. Standards encourage a proactive human resource strategy to improve organizational outcomes and, more importantly, demonstrates to your workforce that what matters to them matters to you. Standardization doesn't just mean uniformity. It's about creating a robust framework where diversity is celebrated, equity is non-negotiable, inclusion is a daily practice, and a sense of belonging is the norm. A new era in mining is already here, and unless we understand what is important to measure and provide the workforce with everything they need to standardize their own participation, then we cannot create the meaningful change that we are all striving for.
Presented by RJC Global Impact and Team Synergy Global Consulting. Building the future together.